I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know anything about you.
Listen, Doc.
Quiet.
Doc.
Don't
Doc,
tell me
you gotta-
anything.
Doc,
Quiet.
you gotta help.
Quiet. I'm going to read your thoughts. Let's see now. You come here from a great distance?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell me. You want me to buy a subscription to the Saturday Evening Post?
No.
Not a word, not a word, not a word now. Quiet.
Have you ever felt like this? Like, no matter how hard you try, you just can't get that next great idea? The problem is you're having trouble sparking innovation. And organizations and companies and businesses, they struggle with this all the time, yet it's one of the most fundamental and vital pieces to growing as an organization. So today we're going to be teaching you how to spark innovation in an organization. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at a basic definition of what innovation actually is. A lot of times we hear the words innovative or innovation and we immediately think of an invention or some kind of cool new technology, but it's actually a much broader concept than that. By the end of this video, we're going to hope that you have learned a couple things. First, after watching this video, viewers will understand the concept of innovation and why it is important in an organization. And secondly, viewers will be able to implement innovation in an organization and produce a positive result. So in order to get to that point, we're going to start off by just laying out a basic general definition of what innovation actually is. To put it simply, innovation is any change that can happen in an organization or a business that introduces some sort of progress. So the change could be two different things. It could be something completely new that is created, thought of, or invented, or it could be an adaptation or an adjustment to a previous system or previous product that was already in place. Now that we know what innovation is, let's figure out why is it important. With current advancements in technology and telecommunications, the world is constantly shrinking. Globalization is causing businesses from around the world to be able to compete with each other, to communicate with each other, to work with each other, to trade with each other, to do virtually anything they could think of. And so because of this shrinking world, because of all of this change that is happening, it is absolutely vital that companies innovate. Organizations are now being faced with problems they've never seen before, and so because of that, they have to come up with new systems, products, developments, whatever, in order to deal with these problems, and they have to be innovative in the way that they're doing this. Now, the areas in which an organization can or should innovate are virtually endless, but just to provide some of the most important areas, we have this list here. So the first one is hiring processes. The way that we seek out and find the people who we want to work for us needs to be able to change with the changing cultures of the world. Another one is inner organizational communication, the way that employees, managers, and their subordinates and coworkers communicate with each other needs to innovate as technology changes. 50 years ago, you wouldn't have sent an email to your coworker. You would have had to write something to them. Today, if you had to write a note or walk across the office to somebody's desk every time you need to talk to them, it would just be extremely inconvenient and not very efficient. The next one is external communication, how the organization communicates with people outside of their company, with their customers, with clients, or with other companies with which they work. This one kind of goes hand in hand with advertising, the next one. Especially today with the boom of social media and the potential outlets for that in the future, companies should seek to innovate when it comes to their advertising and their social media and internet presence. Next one is product development, which is pretty self-explanatory, seeing as new technologies can provide for products to improve, become cheaper, become more efficient as time goes on. And product development goes hand in hand with the next one, which is sales techniques. Obviously, as products evolve, so do the ways that we sell them. And so the way that companies sell certain ideas or certain products need to innovate and evolve as the company grows. And the last one, and possibly the most important one, is training and development. The way in which we train employees and develop employees to grow and do better and reach their full potential. The next thing that we're going to do is look at how to spark innovation in an organization. And so the first thing so we're going to look at a few different categories of ways to spark innovation. The first one is kind of an overarching term for all of these, but it's the culture of the workplace. How do people react to other people seeking innovation? How do people react to people coming up with ideas? How do coworkers or managers act towards, what is their overall attitude and disposition towards innovation, creativity, and new ideas? So the next technique is brainstorming and mind mapping, which is a way to generate ideas, as many as possible, so that anybody's voice can be heard, just based on narrowing down ideas to the best ones, maybe combining certain ones, knocking certain ones out. The next great way to encourage innovation and how to spark innovation is by the environment. This can be both in the culture, kind of the environment, the climate of the workplace, but also the physical environment. If you look at companies like Google, extremely innovative companies like Google and Snapchat and Bing and companies like that, their headquarters aren't just a blocked off cubicle area. They have open areas where people can collaborate. They have places where people can relax, where they can work how they're comfortable working, and so on. Also, at Capital One, they actually have rooms for innovation, and the rooms don't have normal walls. The walls are just covered in whiteboards, and so they'll send in a creative team into those rooms and say, don't come out until you've filled these whiteboards with ideas that you have. And so that's a great way to encourage innovation. Lastly is encouraging feedback. In a system that's already in place in any organization, how are the managers going to know that they need to innovate and to change things, to change the already in place system, if the people who are operating with it on a day in and day out basis aren't telling them how they feel about it? What are the good parts about it? What are the bad parts about it? So hopefully now, after having watched this video, you don't have to feel like this guy, really confused and just desperately searching for ways to innovate in creative ways. Hopefully you found some practical ways to implement innovation in your organization, and you've been able to gain a better understanding of what innovation actually is. In order for us to look back and make sure that's happened, we have a little self-check. I want you to imagine that you just met somebody who's never even heard of the term innovation, and try to explain it to them. Write down an explanation to them of what it means and how you should implement it, just as basically as you can, just so they can get a basic gist. Try to explain it to them like they're 5 years old. Thank you for watching our video, and we really hope that we were able to teach you and help you in sparking innovation in your future.